Welcome back to our channel Class-Like Community. So today we will be dealing with the lecture 7, that is the laser. Here we will cover the topics like Einstein coefficient, process in Einstein coefficient, energy states of atoms, condition for laser action and requisites of a laser system. So without wasting more time, let's begin with the Einstein coefficient. And here what we will learn is that first of all we will consider two energy state. One is E1 and another is E2. Then here E1, that means 1 is the lower number, so it's the lower energy state, and E2 is the higher energy state because 2 is the higher number. Simple. And N1 is the number of atoms per unit volume in the lower energy state, that is E1, and N2 will be the energy state for E2. N2 will be the energy state for E2 for the number of atoms per unit volume. And here we will take an assumption, that is EV, which will be an energy density of radiation. So now let's move on and see what are the process in Einstein coefficient. What is next? So here the process, what is the process in Einstein process is that first is the induced absorption which takes place. So what is this induced absorption? In this case what happens, an atom in the lower energy state, that means which we have already assumed as E1, undergoes a transition to the higher energy state, that is E2, by absorbing a photon. In simple word, the E1 will move on to E2 by absorbing a photon. Now the number of such absorption per unit time, per unit volume is called rate of induced absorption. So what is rate of induced absorption? That means number of absorption with time, that means per unit time, and with volume, that is per unit volume, is called as rate of induced absorption. Rate of induced absorption, which will be equation 1, is that N1 is equal to B12 N1 EV. EV is the energy density, B12 is the Einstein coefficient, and N1 we already know is the number of atoms for the first, that is the lower energy state. Now that is only written where N1 is the number of atoms in the state E1, is the energy density in the frequency, that means the energy density is from V, range of V and V plus dV, and B12 is the Einstein coefficient of the induced absorption. So here the transition is happening from E1 to E2 with the absorption of a photon, and such type of, that means the rate of induced absorption means the number of such absorption with time and volume is a rate of induced absorption, and the formula for the rate of induced absorption is a number of atoms of the E1 state is equal to B12, which is the Einstein coefficient of the induced absorption, of with N1 EV, that is the energy density. Now the next process is a spontaneous emission. So in this case an atom in the higher energy state, that means from E2, undergoes transition to the lower energy state, that is E1, by emitting a photon without any aid of external agency. That means without taking any help from external agency, it will emit a photon. That means just the opposite of our induced absorption. In induced what happens, it moves from E1 to E2 and it absorbs the photon. Here what happens, it will move from E2 to E1 and it will emit a photon. So the number of such spontaneous emission per unit volume, per unit time, is called the rate of spontaneous emission. Now the formula for this rate of spontaneous emission is, that is N2 is equal to A21 N2, which will be equation 2, where this A21 is what? Our Einstein coefficient for the spontaneous emission. So this is the thing which occurs after emission. That means from E2 it will move on to E1 with the emitted photon. Okay. Now we will move on to the next process, that is the stimulated emission. In this case, an atom in the higher energy state E2 undergoes transition to the lower energy state E1 under the influence of passing photon. That means it will move from E2 and E1 but a photon will get influenced with the process. So during this process, a stimulated photon is emitted along with the incident photon. That means another photon will also occur. The number of such stimulated emission is known as rate of stimulated emission. Here the formula is N2 is equal to B21 N2, where B21 is the Einstein coefficient of stimulated emission. That means it is moving from E2 to E1. Here one stimulated photon is there emitted with an incident photon. Okay. So now we will see the energy states of atoms. So energy states of atoms are ground state. That means it is the lowest possible energy state of an atom, which is the most stable state. That means it is the lowest state and it will be the most stable state. Atom can remain in this state for unlimited time. So the 2 points are that it is a low energy state and it's the most stable state, and atoms will remain for unlimited time. The next state is an excited state. These are the possible energy state of an atom which are higher than the ground state. That means one level up from the ground state. Here the atom remains in this energy state for a very short period of time. That means just the opposite of ground state, and it's called the lifetime typically of the order of 10 to the power minus 8 second to 10 to the power minus 9 second. So this is the time in which the atom could stay. The next state is metastable state. So these are the excited state of an atom with relatively large lifetime. That means it can stay a very long time. That is of order 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. The next is a condition for laser action. The next state is the condition for laser action. So here we will know the population inversion and metastable state. So population inversion is the state of system at which the population of a particular higher energy state is more than that of a lower energy state. So it means that the population will be more in the higher energy than the lower. To achieve this population inversion, a special kind of excited state which is called metastable, which we already discussed, and it can be explained as follows. That means an atom in the ground state undergoes transition to the higher energy state, that is E3, by absorbing incident photon. That means it will move from ground state to E3 by absorbing a photon. Since E3 state is ordinary excited state, that means what it is? It is a very ordinary excited state and it will not stay a very long time. That means as a result, the atom will immediately undergoes downward transition. That means it will move from ground to E3. It will not stay for a very long time. It will directly move on to downward. That means E2 state. Since this E2 state is metastable, atoms in this E2 stay over a long duration, because we already know that in excited state the atoms duration is less because it is from 10 to the power minus 8 to 10 to the power minus 9 second, but in a metastable it can stay a very long time, like 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. So the longest duration here is from 10 to the power minus 2 to 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. Under this condition, a stage will be reached where the population in E2 overtakes the E1. This condition is called population inversion. That means this portion is the definition and this portion is the example which you need to state when a higher marks is given for your test. So the same thing is being shown in the diagram. That means first what happens, from this ground state it will move to E3. It will not take a lot of time. It will directly move to the metastable state, that is the E2 state, and it will stay there. Now we will see the requisites of requisites of a laser system. So there are three requisites of a laser system. First is an excitation source for pumping action. Second is an active medium to achieve popular inversion. third is an optical resonant cavity for laser cavity. So the first thing is an excitation source for pumping action. So this process, the process supplying energy to the medium to excite an atom from lower energy to higher energy state is called pumping. Like we pump a hand pump and we get water. Similarly, what it will do here, that to supply energy, it will excite the atom so that it will move on from the lower energy to a higher energy state. Now, this is basically known as pumping. Now, energy can be supplied to atoms like optical pumping, electrical pumping, and chemical pumping. So, these are the three examples like how energy can be supplied to atoms. Next is the second thing, that is the active medium to achieve population inversion. So, what happens here? An active inversion refers to the medium in which the laser action takes place. That means here when laser action will take place, if we want to know what is active medium, it means that the medium in which some laser action will take place. The energy level of the atoms or molecules which are involved in loser section are identified. So here what we will do, there involve loser action which gets identified, and accurate information about the energy levels and their lifetimes helps in identifying the level between the population inversion can be achieved. So what we have learned in the population inversion is that it will move from ground state to E3 state, then without taking much more time it will directly move on to the metastable state. So in active medium, to achieve this popular inversion, what we get, that we get an accurate information about the energy levels and their lifetime in identify the level between which the population inversion can be achieved. The next and the last is an optical resonant cavity or laser cavity. So a laser device consists of an active medium bounded between two mirrors. The mirrors reflect the photons to and fro through the active medium. A photon moves in a particular direction, represent a light wave moving in the same direction. So here right moving wave and left moving wave. So this is in the same phase and this one is not in phase. So this is a constructive and this is a destructive. So whenever we get a constructive in a same phase, the resultant wave looks like this. But when we get that it is not in phase and is destructive, the resultant what we get it as 0. Now what it states, that a laser device consists of an active medium. So this is the active medium and this is bounded between two mirrors. So this is one mirror and this side another. The mirror reflects the photon to and fro. So what happens, this mirror will reflect to and fro in this active medium. A photon moving in a particular direction represents a light. That means the photon, if it's moving in this particular direction, that means in direction that light wave is moving. Thus the two mirrors along with the active medium form this laser cavity. So that means these two mirrors, whichever is being with this active medium, is creating this laser activity. So this is our lecture 7 comes to an end. So if you have any queries, you need to comment us down below with the email ID and then we will clear it out through any way possible. Thank you for watching. Till then, have a great day.
Wow, that's impressive! You have completed a magic today. For more videos, subscribe. Join our Facebook group and Instagram page for group discussion and live magazine videos for exam preparation in an hour. We start at Classfly community for students to learn from a friend in a simple way and support them in their own languages. If you are willing to be that one friend who saves us at the exam night preparation, then please join us by visiting classfly.in.